Hey, what's going on, guys? Joe here, coming at you today from Discord. We're going to do a quick tutorial on how to operate this thing, how to navigate it, and some of the perks and ups and downs with it. So if you're not aware, Discord is actually a chat application for you gamer lifestyle individuals like myself. Some people, need to communicate within the game in order to be more proactive or be able to plan and all the other stuff. I am operating off of my iPad today. We're not going to use the actual desktop application for Discord, although the desktop application is a lot easier to navigate, but most of you are going to probably be operating off of a mobile device of some sort. iOS might differ a little bit plus or minus between Android. There might be some things that you'll see or options or ways to navigate that might be slightly different than what I'm doing here, but it'll be generally about the same thing. The intent of this video is I'm not an expert by any means, but I've been on Discord for about a year now, and I have a generalized idea on how to operate Discord. I've been able to set up my server, the Clash of Text with Joe server, as well as my own clans with the assistance of others, getting those things correct so my clan can operate within Discord. So this video here is for you guys that are making a transition from another chat application over to Discord, and we're going to start out with Discord itself. It is a protected, server-based chat application. You have to have a link in order to join a chat. You can't just join a server and be able to go into somebody else's server and do whatever you want. There are restrictions, there's roles. We'll get into these things, and I'll be able to explain these things a little bit better as we go along. So I am operating off of a made-up account called The Tutor. Obviously, you can see this down in the lower left-hand corner of the screen down there. And also, there are options to select to show recent mentions. If somebody's talking about you or directly to you or needs somebody to catch your attention. Obviously, the bot identified me as joining my own server. And that was a mention there. Now, the little gear icon next to that will go into your user settings down here in the lower, and it goes into, you can change your profile picture. You can change if you're, out in the sun a lot and you need to change the appearance. You can change between dark and light mode. We'll keep it dark for the video purposes here. That way you can kind of see the writing in it. The language can be changed, the web browser that's being used can be changed, and also, there's a support icon, and you can also log out. Now, when you join a server, you have to receive an instant invite link from somebody within that server that has the permissions to share a link. Obviously, in my videos, at the bottom in the descriptions, there's something that says something along the lines of Join Joe's Squad. That right there is a link directly to this server that's posted right now, and obviously you can see the bar icon over in the left hand side. So we are actually in right here. This is a server, so you'll have multiple servers here if you're in multiple servers within Discord. But anyway, so in the next panel over, you have the Clash of Text with Joe, which doesn't show anything when you don't have any roles. You have no access to anything. When you're just a basic user, nobody's assigned you a role, you can't really do anything. It just says you can change notification settings. Now, really fast, we're going to go into the notification settings. You can mute this whole server, that way you don't hear anything at all, or you don't get notified about anything going on within this server. This is for the entire server, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that back on, but I will change it to only at mentions. That way it only notifies me when somebody is talking directly to me with the @ sign and my name or whatever my avatar is. Anyways. Or you can have it set for nothing at all. You can suppress at everyone here. This I mentioned here. So basically what this does is suppresses people that like to use the term at everyone, which is an automatic role within Discord. And you can also do turn on and off mobile push notifications, which basically turns off any type of notifications to your phone whatsoever in the event that you may or may not be married, have a spouse, and you don't want to be, or maybe you're just a closet gamer. You never know. But anyways, so we're going to go ahead and leave that on. We're going to leave it at mentions only. We're going to close that out. All right, so up top, as I select that, obviously it doesn't give me any options. Below that is different channels within the Clash of Text with Joe server. So obviously there's a welcome message, which is a chat. The chat is a read-only chat. You can't send any messages within this. I posted a welcome note for any of you that join, and that's about the extent of it. You really can't do anything else from there. And this is very basic settings, guys. You can set it up. People set them up to where it notifies somebody within the server to bring you from this, this page to the actual chat. I just have people going directly to my general chat and can weed out from there. So anyways, there's a general chat, which is basically whatever you want it to be. I have it set, my main chat set as general, and we can see everything that's going on within this chat. It's basic stuff. You can send messages, regular messages, say hi or whatever it is that's going on. This little paperclip next to the cursor would bring up, like adding pictures. I don't want to have it doing it from this device, so we're going to go ahead and you can take pictures. You can do go into your camera roll. You can add whatever, and it'll upload it into the chat. So we're going to go ahead and hit done because we're not going to do anything there. All right, so you can also do what's called emotes, which is if you're used to Android or iOS, you have like smiley faces or whatever else. Obviously, you can see here in my chat, Joe has a Clash of Text with Joe badge within his server that you can use, and there's two different ways of using it, and this is just an example. Some are set up with a colon, and then it should bring up multiple ones that you can select. Obviously, mine is uppercase J-O and then finishing it out with a colon, and I can post a emote within that chat. So, I mean, pretty basic stuff, nothing special there. But you can also add what's called emotes to or acknowledgments to somebody's, somebody says something and I want to. So I can hold down on iOS. I'm not really positive on Android quite yet. But on iOS, you can hold your finger down on the message that you want to add a acknowledgement to, and you can add a reaction here. And it's pretty basic stuff. It should bring up a list of different things that you can post on this message. Obviously, let's go ahead and add an EG reaction to it, and it'll add the +1 reaction to it. Also, next to that reaction, there's also now a new icon with a blurred out smiley face that you can click and also add another reaction to the message. And this is pretty basic stuff. If you ever hear somebody talk about adding a reaction, that's what they're talking about. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add a role to this account. That way we can kind of go into some more detailed information for you guys that are building servers. What I do know is that if you are the original creator of the server, you can bypass all roles. There is nothing in that server that can stop you, that you have full access, which could also be dangerous if somebody got access to your Discord information. So I'm going to go ahead and add a role to the tutor, and I'm going to make him an admin. So an admin is very, very dangerous if you are not knowing to what they can and can't do. As a matter of fact, I'll just give this account the Overlord, which bypasses everything. So now that I've added the role, you can see that everything's been populated. All the channels within this server has been revealed to me because I have all access to the server. Now you can see a general chat. You can see a Clash of Clans chat. You can see a more coffee needed chat. There's Patreon perks. There's stream announcements. There's anything that you want you can do here. There's Paradox, which is one of the clans in Elite Nation. War bot calls, war planning, the bot room. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and start from the top. Hopefully not drag this video out too long. We're going to go ahead and click that icon up top for the server, and we're going to look at what's available to us now. So we have notification settings, which I've already gone into, and then also server settings. So there's also server settings. Hopefully I don't reveal too much here. You got overview of the server itself. You can look at the channels within the server. You can look at integrations, which I don't think I have anything integrated other than Twitch and Nightbot. And we're not going to talk about bots within this video. Security settings, you can look at the members in this this server, and you can also look at the roles, also the instant invites, and you can also look at who's been banned from the server, and you can go back and if you have the proper permissions, you can unban those people. All right, excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and look at the channels real fast, and the channels have different settings per the channels. So the general channel has notification settings. Now you can go in and edit these notification settings per the channel. Obviously, you can add a topic for the channel. You can add, a place to hang out, whatever. You can add, you can do an instant invite. And also you have certain permissions for the server. So right now it's set for roles of @everyone. We're going to go into the roles and I'll explain that a little bit better, but you can also add different roles. Really when it comes to the general chat, I want everybody to see the general chat. I don't want it really broken up or broken down for anybody, or, excluding anybody from that channel. So that's basically a very, basic channel. Now when it comes to Paradox, we can look at the Paradox server or the Paradox channel, and the permissions here are slightly different. There's different roles here, meaning @everyone can't do everything. Obviously, as I'll kind of dip a little bit into the roles. Everyone with the @everyone, which doesn't have an assigned role, they cannot see everything. The read messages are turned off. Send messages are turned off. Everything's turned off to where this role cannot see this channel whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead and back out of that. It's very simple to navigate. You can go down and uncheck or uncheck. This is basically a default option, and it really frees it up for anybody to see. And then the check mark allows you to actually do these things if you have that specific role. Obviously, I don't want this to happen, so I want them to be X'd out. So @everyone does not have permissions to do certain things. Now, as I jump over to the Paradox role, the Paradox role opens it up for reading messages and managing messages, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So anyways, that is basics for the channels. You can add or plus or minus on permissions on what you want your people to do. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go back out of channels. Let's go ahead and jump down to roles, because I'm sure you guys have heard things about roles. Obviously, the Overlord, I have an Overlord role, which is controlled by my main account. There's only a handful full of people that actually have access. This is exclusive access to this server. They can do whatever they need to do, whatever I need to get done. And then there's also the admin role. The admin role, for most of you people that have been on Discord for a really long time, is basically the Overlord. So anyways, I set things up a little bit different in mind. So anyways, setting up a role is pretty simple. You have a role name. You can change the color of this role. Obviously, be cognizant of people that are colorblind, because they might not be able to see some of these colors. Also, that you can choose to display the role members separately from online members. What this means is it'll pull these people that are actually online with this role above everybody else, and they can you can clearly identify that an admin is actually online. And we'll get into where to see people in a second. All right, so general permissions. Now, administrator is turned off here, but you got to be very cognizant of who you actually assign as an administrator, because what they can do is do everything. They can give permissions to grant access to everything within the server, viewing the audit log of the actual channel, manage the server, meaning that you can they can make changes within the server. So obviously my admins can make changes within the servers. They can manage the roles, meaning they can assign or take away roles from people. Manage channels. They can go in and edit or delete channels if if having this access. So I'm very limited on who actually has this role. They can also kick members. They can ban members. They can create instant invites. They can change names. They can manage nicknames. Everything else. All right. So we can go out and go back to roles. Now, if I go look at a lower role, like let's see here, Paradox. So Paradox doesn't have as many permissions in the general permissions as the admin. As you can see, they can change their own nicknames, but that's about the extent of it. You can go back out and look at text permissions. They can go in and read messages. They can send messages. They can upload and attach files, and they can read the previous chat history. So we're going to go ahead and go back out of that. And then also voice permissions. They can connect to the voice chats, but they can't mute members. They don't have admin rights, so they can't go in and mute people or deafen people that they don't want to hear talking. They can't move members between channels. And that's really about the extent of that. Hopefully I'm covering everything. All right. So also take note within your roles that you can edit the location of these roles. You can plus or minus them. I clicked the edit up in the upper right hand corner. And now the priority of these roles means that they can do things that other roles cannot. Meaning that admin has access over everybody else here. And as we go down the roster here or down the list, the Paradox leader would be the next highest person within this server that they can do more things than, say, a Paradox person with a role with a role assigned Paradox, person with the role mini boss, Patreons or patron pledges, and then Joe's guests, so on and so forth. Obviously, you see Town Hall 9, Town Hall 10, and we'll get into what those are for later on. All right, so you can move these around. I meant to do that actually real fast. You can move these around, hit edit, and you can move by grabbing on the right hand side and move them around move them in the order that you want them to be. So we're going to go ahead and cancel that. We don't want to do anything. You can also do the same thing with the channels. I actually kind of forgot to do that. You can change, you can add a channel, create a channel or a voice channel by hitting that plus sign in the upper right hand corner. Or you could go in and sort. So on the right hand corner you saw sort. You can hit the sort button. It's very faint, and you can grab and hold and you can move these channels around. Very basic stuff. You can change the order of your channels that you want them to be in for your server. So I got a little ahead of myself on that one. All right, so you kind of get a great, hopefully you got a little bit of a understanding or a generalized understanding of the roles. Instant invites. So we go into instant invites, and you can go in and see somebody's had a little bit of a free time with my instant invites, adding a bunch of instant invites. Now, the one at the bottom is actually the main instant invite. So you got to make sure that you go in, and I got to go ahead and revoke some of these later on and fix this, but this is actually the main one, and you can share it or revoke it. It's also set up as a, you can set it up as a permanent link. So I'll go back to a channel and actually do that. So going back out, we'll go into the general chat, and you see up here underneath Clash of Text with Joe up top. You see Clash of Text with Joe up top. You got instant or invite members. So you can hit up on that, and you can create a instant invite, which expires in 24 hours. But you can set it up to where you can have it expire after 30 minutes. You can, okay, correction, it was set for 30 minutes, my bad. All right, so you can have it set for 30 minutes. You can have it a maximum uses, or you can, this is temporary membership. Members automatically kicked when they are disconnected unless a role is assigned. So what that means is you could join their server. If somebody doesn't identify you and add a role to you, you could be kicked from the server. So that's kind of, could be useful to some of you. But anyways, we're going to go in and we're going to make it an infinite link, a permanent link by hitting never. And then you would regenerate, or you would collect this link by hitting the up button on the link itself. So the general up here, this is your actual, and you can share it, send it out where you need it to be. That is the actual link for this server. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close out of that, and I'll go back and delete all these instant invites. See, this is kind of where you have to make sure that your roles cannot generate instant invites. And I'll show you real fast. See, I'm bouncing around a little bit. I'm trying to avoid that, but it's kind of inevitable as I go along. And this is kind of how we learn. But anyways, going back into a role, let's say I look at Paradox and I look at general permissions. So as we go down about midway, you'll see this icon right here. That's create instant invite. You want to make sure that your people assigned these roles cannot create instant invites. What could ultimately happen here is that people with that have this icon activated or option activated, they can send instant invites to anybody. So they could be inviting anybody to your server. You do not want this. In some clans, they don't want this. They want to be able to control who's coming in and out of their clan. That's totally understandable. So you got to make sure that you go back into your roles and make sure that these people cannot do this. So that's something that I've identified within my own server that I'll need to go back and check some of these roles and make sure that they cannot do it, because I want just the one permanent link being used to bring people into my server, if that makes sense to you. All right, so we've identified how to chat. We've identified what roles are. We've identified basic navigation of the server. Now, So let's say that I'm in my clan and I want to speak to people. Hopefully they're not talking about anything crazy in here. Now let's say that I want to speak directly to somebody, or I want somebody specifically notified. You can simply hit the @ sign and it'll bring up a list of people within this role, within this channel of who you can message. Or, so you can pick one individual person, like I'll select Pitts here, and I can message him and it'll notify him directly. Now, what I want to do is I don't want to necessarily message him, but I want to message all of the Paradox role. So let's see if I can select, let's see, is it going to let me do it? That's the question here. All right, clearly it's not going to allow me to @ the Paradox role, so that's not exactly a cool thing at all. Let me see if it'll let me select a specific role at all. Anyways, what it should be able to do is allow you to select or @ everybody within a specific server if I'm in the correct server. I think nope, it's definitely not doing it. So that is definitely a bust on that one. I'll have to go in and make sure that the proper permissions are done there in order to do so. However, you should be able to, if they're assigned, or you want to send somebody to a specific chat, you hit a hashtag. So let's say that you are in your Paradox chat or in your clan's chat, and I want them to go look at, let's see here, I want them to go look at the war plan. So I can easily select one of these or go look at the war room and message them, go check out the hashtag war room and hit enter and send it. And basically what it'll do is it'll show your people in your chat to go to this room, and it's actually hyperlinked. That'll bring you to the actual war room, and now you can look at the war room and see what's going on there. So if you're mid-conversation and you kind of want to shorten things and make things a little bit easier, you could easily do things like that. Now, let's say that since we've talked about roles, we talked about being able to turn off an option for people to talk or send messages. That's kind of where you would make like a notes chat, or you could make a war plan chat like this one here. And so basically what this will do is you can post things here. You can select options for people to acknowledge your message, but they can't actually send a message within if this is actually blurred out down here for individuals that don't have the role or the option to send a message within this. But they can read it, but they can't send a message. So in this case here, I'm pretty sure Andy fixed it. So yes, she fixed it for this room only to notify all people with the Paradox role to come read this chat. So this is the war plan. I'm posting a war plan saying, Town Hall 9s, you have 16 hours to complete your war attacks, blah, 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 whatever your clan does within your planning factors. And you can @ Paradox role and tell everybody that's got the Paradox role to come read this, okay? Now, you can also set it to where some people want to be acknowledged that they have read their message. Kind of like online. See where this is going? You can actually have them add a acknowledgement. It should be if they hold down on the message that is posted, they can add a reaction, and they should be able to add a reaction to your message, acknowledging the fact that they read your thing. You know what I mean? So, whoops. Tutorial. We're doing a tutorial. Anyways, so now let's say that I don't want all this clutter within this channel. I want to get rid of it. Now, one of the best things that I like about Discord is that you can actually go back and delete your own messages. So let's say that you go on a little bit of a rant and you have an epiphany all of a sudden you say, oh my God, I don't want people to read that. Or me to look bad. I can go in and hold down on iOS. You can hold down on the message itself, and you can actually delete the message. So let's say I want to delete that message. I don't want to see Pitts anymore. I can go in and delete all this stuff and get rid of it. And so that's actually a really good tool for, let's say somebody decides to join your server and they go a little bit overboard and start spamming cuss words or whatever it is that they do. and you don't want your people to see that stuff, or the people within your channel to see that stuff. So you can easily go back and delete these things. So we're going to delete that one. And now, so Andy posted, thanks to Andy, she's been doing a lot of work on my server and assisting me with the creation of the Clash of Tactics with Joe server, the Paradox channels, and getting Paradox ready for shifting over. A special thanks to her. But let's say that I want this message to stay available for everybody else to read later on. I don't want this message getting moved up in the chat. Let's say this is general chat, and I don't, I want somebody else to see this message later on. You can select pin message, and so what this will do is it will, let's see here. Are you sure you want to pin the message at Andy deleted role? Please read carefully if you have any questions. All right, so I don't know what it meant by at deleted role. God, I hope I did not delete the Paradox role. Anyways, I'll fix it later on. But anyways, so what this means is that I pinned this message to the channel, and now where do I find the pinned messages, right? Up near the top at the Clash of Tactics with Joe server, you have the 3 dots, and I'm pretty sure, no, that's not the correct location. Okay, my bad. So at the hashtag war plan, right next to where I just clicked, you can select this, and you can look at the pinned messages in this channel. Obviously, you can see there that the pinned messages are there. So let's take, for example, that you guys are hosting an event, and you want to blast it out to everybody in your server. You can post it in the @general chat and pin it for other people to read later on. It should have an icon for a red icon on some devices on the desktop application. It'll show a red icon up top and identify that there is a pinned message for your reading. Or you could direct people at or hashtag general chat to read the pinned message. So that's actually another really cool feature and could be considered within your notes. If you want to do it like that, you could build up a note, post it in your actual live channel, and then pin it that way for others to read later on. Or you could create a channel specifically for like notes. So let's say that I want to do that instead. I want to unpin this message. Let me go ahead and unpin this message. Or not. I'll do that later on. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So anyways, let's go ahead and create a text channel. And say that I want to create, I don't know, let's see here, a Paradox Notes chat. Okay, so we got channel name. Everything has to be in lowercase for some odd reason. I guess it's because it's server based and it won't allow you to do uppercase. I don't know. And then you have to either put a tick or a dash or an underscore in order to put another word in order for it to register. It'll give you an error and not allow you to do so. So we can go ahead and create Paradox Notes. And we can, automatically it will give you who can access this channel at everyone, and then you can go through the roles and select the roles that can access this channel. I want people that have the Paradox role to access this channel, and I also want the Paradox leaders to be able to access this channel as well. So those individuals with those specific roles can access this channel. So we're going to go ahead and create that. And it should show up at the very bottom of your list. Now you got Paradox Notes. Now, so I want to make sure that the permissions are correct for this channel. So I'm going to go into my permissions and I'm going to look at the everyone list first. And obviously it's already set to where at everyone role, everybody that's in your server cannot read the messages. They cannot send messages. They cannot send anything else. They can't manage messages. They can't do anything. So we're going to go ahead and turn off all this stuff just for shits and gigs. And I want you to be able to identify that at everyone is everyone in your server. Even visitors, even people that are from like YouTube or people that are from outside of your alliance, stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and manage that. I'm going to go ahead and double check it real quick and make sure it's saved. It did save. If you're on the desktop application, it will give you an option to save. If you are on a phone, I believe it might be slightly different, but I'm not really positive when it comes to Android. All right, so Paradox. So those with the Paradox role, I want them to be able to I don't want them creating instant invites. I don't want them managing the channel. I don't want them doing anything. So I'm just going to turn all this stuff off anyways. I do want them to read the channel, but I don't want them to be able to send messages because it's a note server. I want it to be a read-only chat. I, as a clan leader, want to post a message for my clan, and I want them to be able to read it, but not be able to, you know, yes, okay, Roger, whatever it is, and tie up my channel, or, you know, bog down this this channel. I want it specifically for notes. So anyways, send a TSS message, manage messages. I don't want them being able to do that. I don't want them embedding any links. I don't want them attaching any files. I want them to be able to read message history, but I don't want them messaging at everyone within this channel. They can use, no, I don't want them using external emotes, but I do want them to add members with this permission can use emotes from other servers. Oh yeah, certainly. I would love for Clash Bash's you know, emote to be added. Why not? I don't care. But anyways, they can add reactions, and this is kind of where you were looking for acknowledgement of your note. So let's say that I post a note from recruitment chat, and I want them to acknowledge that. I want it, me as a clan leader, I want to see that. So that's what that role can do. Now the permissions have been granted for them to read this channel, for them to read the message history, and I also add reactions to a note. Now the Paradox leader, what can the Paradox leader do within this server? Well, he or she can read the messages. I want them to be able to send messages. So if I have a co-leader that I want to post a note that is of use for the clan, I want them to be able to send messages, and I'll turn some of these other options on. Let's see here, what else? They might be able to embed a link. I might want them to embed a link to one of you know, Powerbank's videos, and I want them to go check that out. They can also attach files. They can also read message history. They can message at everyone. No, I don't want them doing that. I don't want them messaging at everyone. I want them to message at specific roles. Message with permissions can trigger push notifications for all members of this channel by starting an at everyone or at here. Also, I want them to be able to use external emotes, and I want them to be able to add reactions to it as well as the Paradox members. So now my co-leaders should be able to post a note within the Paradox notes. Now that I could add a role to this now that it's already been created, or I can add a specific member to be able to see this channel and add permissions to them. So we're not going to get into too much of that. We can also move the priority of our roles. If I want at everyone for some reason to be able to do more than the Paradox leader, then I would simply move it up. Or no, my bad. Correction. At everyone will stay at the bottom. Let's say that I want Paradox to do more, or I want to remove the Paradox role, which I don't in this case. All right, so we've identified the channel name. We can add a channel topic, so we can put notes for Clan Paradox, and then we can save it. Obviously, there's a save icon up top, and it automatically closes it out. I want to go back into that. We can look at the notification settings for this. I have it set for only at notifications, and then also you can look at pinned messages for this channel. Or you know, create an instant invite, which I don't want to do because I want to keep people from instant inviting to a channel that they can't even talk in this case at least. And then also you can go back and adjust the permissions, or you can simply delete the channel. In this case, it is set up for a message. So let's go ahead and post a message. And what I'll do is I'll downgrade my account to show you what it'll look like for at everyone. All right, so let's see here. Paradox, this is a note. Please acknowledge at Paradox. And so what that does is that will post the note, and now it just notified everybody that had the Paradox role. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to downgrade to an @everyone role. I'm going to downgrade this account. I'm trying not to make this too long, but it's going to get drawn out anyways, I'm afraid. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go in and I'm going to change the permissions of the tutor account, and I'm going to remove the admin rights from the tutor. And I want you to see what it looks like from somebody with the @everyone role, because you can currently see on the screen, you can see all these channels. So as I go through and try to find the tutor, there he goes. So I'm going to go ahead and remove, I'm going to edit the roles, and I'm going to remove the overlord role. So now, as you can see, even though it's still there, you can still see it because I was last in it. But now, if let's say if I'm an @everyone role, I don't have an assigned role, I can only see the general chat, the music chat, the Clash of Clans channel, the stream announcements, and the bots. Okay, so I can no longer see Paradox. However, I want to assign the tutor the Paradox role. So now that I've assigned the Paradox role to this account, you can now see the Paradox. You can see my war bots. You can see war planning. You can also see the war room, and now you can see the war Paradox notes. So Paradox notes, now that I have specifically the Paradox role, let's see if it works correctly. So now you can see channel is read only, so I can't type anything. There's nothing that I can type. I can't undo anything there. I can't type anything, but can I add an acknowledgement to it? I'll add a reaction because I said please acknowledge. So now I'm going to add a Joe badge to it, and it's going to show that somebody acknowledged. Now here's the problem with that. A slight problem with that is that just because they acknowledge, you can't exactly prove who acknowledged. Now the same thing applies to Line when they like a note. You can't prove who liked the note unless they go down below it and say that they liked your note. No, I am incorrect. You were right. I know you're correcting me right now. It does show the little thumbs up icon or the little hearts icon, and it'll show who actually liked the note. That's one thing that you can't really necessarily do. Obviously, you can see somebody else acknowledge the note as well. And so let's say that I want to go back and let me go ahead and assign a Paradox leader role to the tutor. And now it should open up the fact that I can post things. And hopefully you can see that. People are acknowledging this message. And now I can type now that I've assigned the Paradox co-leader role to this. So this is where it's kind of useful to where you can acknowledge or assign roles and manage who is doing exactly what within your server. Now, how do we know who's actually online? Over on the upper right hand corner, there's a two-person like whited out icon, and now you can see who's actually online. Paradox leader is the tutor. You can see my management, and you can see who's actually online with the Paradox role, and a couple of bots. Minor details there. We're not going to talk about bots. So anyways, I'm pretty sure... Oh, wow. And then I also forgot about voice channels. So voice channels really fast. We're going to try to knock this out quick because some of you don't really know how to get into a voice channel, or you're having a hard time figuring out how to listen to a voice channel. So a voice channel is actually quite useful when it comes to like war planning. Let's say that you want to have a conference call with your co-leaders or something like that. Down here in the bottom, you can see, down here on the scroll bar, you can see voice channels. So we're going to go ahead and join the social lobby. Now I'm on a mobile device. This would look a lot different or slightly different with the desktop application on a computer. You could simply select that channel and it'll add you to that, that channel. But anyways, on a mobile device, you can connect to voice. Now, it's showing underneath the Paradox Notes messaging location. It has this little box down here at the bottom, and it says voice connected. Excuse me. Now, it's showing my icon as talking. Obviously, that anybody that joins this lobby right now can obviously hear me if they join it. It shows a green icon next to voice connected, and it will change between amber, red, and grayed out dependent on your Wi-Fi or your network connection. It will plus or minus, believe me. I've seen it red multiple times when I was like uploading a video or something like that. And then you come in broken and unreadable to other people. Anyways, underneath it shows what lobby or the social lobby within the Clash Attacks with Joe server. You can navigate outside of the servers while in a voice chat under another server, but that's other things for another time. Either way, now underneath that you'll see disconnect, voice settings. You will see a microphone, which you can turn your microphone on or off. You can deafen, correction. You can select the headphones to deafen and mute your voice, and you can't hear anything when it's lined out like so. That's what. If you can't hear anything, check your deafening first and make sure that you're actually on the actual channel. You can also go in and change your voice settings. You can change the output volume to turn up. If you can't really hear somebody, you can turn it up or turn it down. You can also turn off echo cancellation on your side, the noise suppression, automatic gain control. You can also turn on and off this auto sensitivity and make adjustments there for yourself. Also, you can change the input mode from push to talk or voice activity, meaning you have to push a button to talk if you push to talk, or voice activity, it just will pick up that you're simply speaking. So we're going to leave it as voice activity. And we're going to turn back on our auto sensitivity, and we're going to close that out. That is our settings. Now, in order to disconnect, if you're on a mobile device, more than likely you have to listen through your headset. So if you are on an actual iPhone or a phone, you would have to actually listen and talk like you're on the phone if you're in a voice server, even when it's on speaker mode. It should, unless speaker mode is actually set up within your settings, it might not let you hear it. So anyways, now you'll see that I'm talking again, and now I am done with my conversation. This is on mobile. If you are on a computer, it would look slightly different. There's an actual phone icon with an X through it. You would click that to leave the actual voice server. In this case, we're going to disconnect on our mobile device and click disconnect. So that's really basics. That's pretty much hammering down all the basics. We've covered how to chat. We've covered how to mute your chats for those of you that are a closet gamer and you don't want your wife or husband knowing that you're playing and talking to millions of people around the world. I know, been there and done it. Anyways, and then also how to navigate Discord as a whole. There's a server, and then you have individual channels within that server with specific roles and responsibilities that are assigned by the person that either created or has administrative rights of the server or has the option to assign roles. I'm sure I've missed a few things within this server, or within this video, but hopefully it broke it down a little bit more Barney style. It didn't get too drawn out for you. Drop those comments below and pick up on some of my slack if I didn't miss something for you guys. And then also smash that like button if this helped you out in any way. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.